Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tuesday, March 17th, 2015 regular meeting of the Piqua City Commission. Could you all make sure that your cell phones are turned completely off, as they might interfere with our broadcast signal? And then if you would stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have some very special guests with us tonight, and so I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll, and then we'll introduce you all.
Mayor Fess,
Good. Here.
Commissioner Martin,
Here.
Commissioner Terry,
Here.
Commissioner Wilson,
Here.
Commissioner Vogt is absent this evening.
Do I have a motion to?
I move to excuse Commissioner Vogt.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Commissioner Vogt has been excused. We have with us this evening quite a few members of PAC 365. It's a Cub Scout troop from Troy, Ohio, who have been here touring our building, and we're so glad to have you all, and we'd kind of like to recognize you. Did we find a microphone?
We don't have a mic.
Okay, well, let's pull that. Rob, we have their troop leader here. Rob, could you take that microphone and bend it down? And then if we could have all the PAC members kind of line up and come up and just tell us your names, okay? Who's the first brave soul? Come on up.
Oh, here he comes.
Okay, good, guys. Just line up there.
I'm Jack.
What's your last name, Zach?
Sedlak.
Jack Sedlak.
Jack Sedlak. Hi, Jack. We're glad to have you here. Okay, can you let your next friend come up?
I'm Colt Corted.
Well, hi, Cookie. It's good to have you. Okay?
I'm Alex Stanford.
Hi, Alex.
I'm Jackson Frederick Meyer.
Well, Jackson, good to have you. That's
I'm Gus Weevil.
Oh, Dudley was it?
Tommy Lins.
Oh, you're going too fast for me now. Okay, guys.
I'm Christopher Galbraith.
Hi, Christopher.
I'm Ryan McChesney.
Okay. Jackson, come up a minute. I want to ask you a question. Okay? I wonder if you could just take a minute and tell us what you've seen here tonight and what you learned.
I thought it was just going to be all paperwork. It turns out it's actually some exciting stuff.
Great.
Really,
What was some of that exciting stuff?
seeing all the sewer lines and all the water lines. I didn't know they really did that. And I didn't know they really did this, like this meeting and stuff.
Oh, well, good. Then you did learn quite a bit. Well, we're glad you all came up tonight and we could meet you, and best of luck with your troop, and we appreciate you. I saw you going into the police station. What'd you see down there?
A bathroom that was pretty bad.
A bathroom. Yeah, we do have a bathroom down there for our policemen. Uh-huh.
A garage, places where they put the people that did bad stuff, like just talk to them, and two little four-wheeler bike things. I don't know what they're called, but they're pretty cool. And at first I thought, when I saw that little bar thing, I thought that's like they park like like they put somebody in there, and it turns out no. I think it's now just a place where they park their car or something.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Well, we appreciate your sharing with us what you learned here, and glad you got to come up. So have a good rest of the evening.
Yeah, Jackson, those sewer and water guys keep telling me that's exciting stuff too. But Jackson also came into my office, and I was reading the.
That wasn't so exciting, though, evidently.
Well,
He
no,
didn't
not
ask.
really, I guess. But I was reading the book tonight on all the documents, and I told him I was getting ready for tonight's meeting by reading this, and he said, "Well, you haven't read very far."
Oh, well, then we'll have to quiz him.
He's pretty observant.
Is he? Yeah, well, good. Well, we want to thank all the staff who helped with these tonight. And Rob, thank you for bringing the pack up, and the parents that are here with them, and other troop leaders, I assume. So, but anyway, and we want to thank Deputy Chief Marty Groves for taking you down there and showing you all that exciting stuff in the bathroom down in the
Especially the
police
bathroom,
department. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Jackson.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you all very much for being so accommodating. This was a great tour. They think they really did learn a lot. We appreciate it.
That's great, Rob.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we can go to our agenda now, and the first item is the consent agenda. That will include the approval of the meetings minutes, which were tabled on 3/3/2015 as they were amended, and then the approval of the minutes of the March 3rd, 2015. Then we have a number of appointments. I'm going to ask the city manager to read those, please.
Yes, thank you. Item number 3 is a resolution of appreciation for Bill Collins, who served the city for 25 years. I don't think Bill is here tonight, but we wanted to recognize him with a resolution tonight. In addition to that, some of the appointments that are part of the consent agenda, appointing a member to the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission, that is Commissioner Bill Vogt, to be reappointed. The appointment of an alternate member to the Regional Planning Commission, Justin Summer. The next is another alternate to the Regional Planning Commission, which would be Chris Smeezing. The next item is a resolution appointing a member to the Downtown District Design Review Board. That would be Jim Oda for a 3-year term, which expires March 1st in 2018. Next is reappointing a member of the Energy Board, which is Sharon Lyons. Her term to expire February 28th, 2020. Next is a resolution of reappointing a member to the Golf Advisory Board, who is Jean Hill, for a 4-year term, terminating on March 1st, 2019. The next resolution is reappointing a member to the Golf Advisory Board, Scott Razor, a 4-year term, terminating on 3/1/19. The next is a resolution appointing a member to the Park Board, Robert Asbury, for a term ending in March 1st, 2020. The next is a resolution appointing a member to the Park Board, Jesse Dotson. The term would end on March 1st, 2020. Next is a resolution appointing a member to the Stormwater Utility Board, which would be Steve Stiffel, for a 1-year term. That would terminate on August 1st, 2016. Next is a resolution appointing a member to the Tree Committee, Robert Asbury, for a 4-year term ending on March 1st, 2019. Item number 15 is a resolution appointing a member to the Tree Committee, James Vetter, for a 4-year term ending on March 1st, 2019. Next is a resolution reappointing a member to the Planning Commission, Jim Oda, for a 5-year term ending on March 1st, 2020. And the final consent item is a resolution appointing a member to the Planning Commission, Stu Shear, for a 5-year term ending on March 1st, 2020.
Thank you, Gary. Just as a word of explanation for you people who are here and the young people, these are all members of boards and commissions that work with the city to help us. They're all volunteers, and we have quite a number of boards and commissions, as you heard. So that's what we're doing, is appointing or reappointing those persons to those particular boards and commissions tonight. Commissioners, I would need a motion to remove the first item, the approval of minutes that was tabled on 3/3 from the table, so that we can approve that tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to remove the approval of minutes of 3/3/15 from the table. All those in favor signify stating aye.
Aye.
The approval of the minutes has been removed from the table. Now we will need a motion to approve the entire consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. The consent agenda, I have a motion and a second to approve that. All in favor of that signify stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. The consent agenda has been approved. So we will now move to old business, which is ordinance number 4-15, and this will be the second reading for this ordinance.
An ordinance amending Section 94.21 of the Piqua Code relating to fees for use of park facilities.
Mr. Brookhart will provide the staff report.
Good evening. As stated 2 weeks ago in the February Park Board meeting, the Park Board unanimously approved raising the fees related to the use of park facilities. The last time the fees for the park facilities were raised was in 2009. The increase in the fees will help offset the operating cost and maintenance of the buildings. Attached, you will find Exhibit B showing the current rental fees and an Exhibit C showing the proposed rental fees. City residents will continue to get a discount.
Thank you, Brian. Excuse me, I needed to have a little discussion with the law director. We have discussed the rental on the house, Brian, and is there any information ready to share on that, or shall we just wait till the next reading?
We're going to wait for the next reading on that. We do have some information, but we need to have discussions with the tenant at this point.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions on this? Anyone in the audience wish to speak to this ordinance? If not, this will stand as the second reading for ordinance number 4-15. Moving to new business, resolution number R-52-15.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to apply for, accept, and enter into a supplemental water pollution control loan fund agreement on behalf of the city of Piqua for planning, design, and/or construction of wastewater facilities and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan.
Mr. Davis is going to provide the staff report, and we're going to have a lot of fun right now.
Is this that exciting
It's
stuff?
that's exciting stuff. so.
Okay.
I want to make sure he comes down for a trip down to the wastewater plant.
Jackson?
Yes.
Okay. Rob, you can see about that.
As stated in the resolution, this would authorize the city manager to apply for a supplemental loan for the difference between the first loan that we took out for the planning and the detailed design engineering of the bioactive flow high rate treatment system and the amended facility plan, which was presented to you in the special meeting that we had a couple weeks ago. That will also increase the size of the plant to handle all the flows. The amount stated is the difference plus a small contingency. Please notice that in that resolution that Cindy has included that the percentage rate on that loan will drop from a little over 2 to a 1.8%. The attached contract that you have in front of you that was attached to this is not being approved tonight. That is just there for your reading to see the numbers. That is the contract that we're going to bring back to you in a couple next month for the detailed design. This has been approved by the EPA. The director has signed his signature to this, to the approval. And if there's any questions as far as the additional cost that we're asking for, Bob and Mark are here from CDM tonight, if you have any questions for them.
And I just want to mention that Ms. Holtzapfel, of course, is not here tonight. Unfortunately, her mother passed away on Saturday, so she is home, but she is approved and fully endorses the loan application going after that for the additional funding at the 1.8% interest.
Thank you, Dave. Gary. Commissioners, do you have any questions on this?
Our payback will be 5 years, and will there be another charge for that payback? A customer charge? Or is it already included in the charges?
I don't know that we've approved for the payback quite yet.
I think that,
We're
I
just
think
now
that
getting the funds.
future fees will pay,
Yeah.
will cover the cost of those loans and so forth, so the adjustments on the fees.
Okay, but there will be other adjustments on the fees. It will not include what is the service charge at the present time.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
That would be correct.
Do we have a handle on what kind of increase we can expect?
Ms. Holtzapfel is working on she has that information as to what the increases over a period of time would be. Unfortunately, I don't have that tonight, but we certainly can send that out to you. But this goes along with the additional work that will be required in just the next few years to upgrade the facility to meet EPA requirements.
Any other questions, commissioners?
Is the 1.4 part of the 4.134 on page 11?
Yes, that's part of that calculation.
Okay. So once this comes back around, we'll be borrowing this minus the 1.4 to get all this done?
No, what this will do will take us through the detailed design, and we'll finish up the planning and the detailed design portion of it. The next time we come back to you for any money, it'll be for the loan for the construction.
Oh, okay.
And that's what year we're expecting that couple of
That'll
years?
be in 2017.
Yeah.
Anyone in the audience wish to speak for or against this resolution? If not, do I have a motion?
Move to adopt resolution number R-52-15.
Second.
It's been moved and second to adopt resolution number R-52-15. Would the clerk call the roll, please?
Mayor Fess,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin.
Aye.
Resolution number R-52-15 has been adopted. Just want to take a minute. I did neglect to say that when I was introducing the young people, I referred to Rob several times. That Rob is Rob Stanford, who was our former Parks Director here in the city of Piqua. Rob, we do appreciate you bringing those young people up tonight to visit City Hall. Moving on, we move to resolution number R-53-15.
A resolution amending the agreement with LJB Incorporated for the right-of-way acquisition services for the Garnsey Street, Commercial Street Corridor Neighborhood Connector Project.
Ms. Havner.
Thank you. In 2013, we hired Lockwood Jones and Beals to begin the design and the right-of-way acquisition for the Commercial Street project. Once we got underway and we started working with Miami County and the Ohio Department of Transportation, we realized that the county maps, our tax maps and all of their records for Commercial Street were old and outdated and not current. So what we originally hired LJB for, as far as the right-of-way, has almost tripled in size. So tonight, this would be to allow us to finalize the plans and then move forward with the right-of-way acquisition. And in the meantime, clean up the Commercial Street corridor as far as the county's concerned.
Thank you, Amy. Commissioners, any questions of Amy?
Yeah, what is a quiet title action? Because they're talking about it a lot in here.
We've already done one, and our law director might be able to better address that. We did one portion of the quiet title thinking we were done, and then the county again started reviewing and found there's additional items. So Stacy?
The first time we did the quiet title action, it was under what we needed for the project in the grant, and that was under a time frame so we could keep the grant money. When that was completed, the county engineer's office, the map department, discovered that Commercial Street had a lot of title deficiencies, and they go back years and years and years. The problem is all of the railroads at some point own that land. They all merged. So trying to find the railroad that will declare any type of ownership has become an extreme problem right now. And that's why the quiet title actions are needed. But the county did extensive research on putting all those boundaries together so that we can clean all of the titles up in that commercial street area. And so the additional quiet title actions will have to be filed by the city for those additional title issues.
Okay, all right.
So the title issues all have to do with the railroad and not any of the property owners that abut up against that street?
Most of them are the railroad. There is a couple properties that they're not going to lose any property. It's just the way the property lines are drawn on the maps in the county. They've never been corrected. And so we need to do quiet title actions to clean those property lines. Nobody's going to lose any property. It's just really clarifying what's already theirs, but not indicated by the maps in the county.
But Stacy, what is a quiet title? What's the Quiet Title Act?
The quiet title action basically says we've tried to determine ownership and we've tried to serve notice on who we believe is the owner. In this particular case, it's one of many railroads. And then when they do not respond to the complaint or they deny any ownership, then the court has the authority to grant the city the title because we've either maintained it or we can't find the true owner. So in the first one we've already filed, I named, I think, 5 different railroads as the potential plaintiffs. Because of the mergers, you had to name them all, contacted all of their legal and title departments, and none of them would claim any type of ownership in the land. But we have to go through court to have that then declared legally to the city.
Okay.
So all these charges are court charges, are county charges?
When you say charges, what do you mean the cost for LJB?
Yes.
No, that cost would be LJB doing the research. And then they also have to draw up the plans to ODOT standards. And this would also be to, we do need some additional right-of-way for some properties out there. This would be to do the acquisitions of the right-of-way and also do the closings of that as well.
Okay,
All of the legal fees and filing fees are separate from that.
okay. I was confused about where this money was being spent, how this money was being spent. The property that would go from Young's, let me see, was it Young Street? Young Street, no, Wood Street to the bike path. That's not paved.
Correct. That we will need to get an easement from the church for that portion, and that's part of the construction.
Okay. I went down Commercial Street today because I was just trying to figure out in my mind what we're talking about. I mean, we paved that street. So, how does the bicycle path go across, for instance, the little area there by Mark Knupp's, where it crosses College Street at a diagonal? I mean, isn't that part of the route?
That entire intersection is being redesigned, so it will, the roads will align up, and that's part of the area that there's some title issue. But that is all going to be realigned, and we're going to have a designated crossing across College Street in that area with the rectangular rapid flashing beacons. So that whole intersection will be reconstructed.
Okay, well, there'll be, so that'll bear to the right down towards the bike path, but will also part of the path go into the park through Garnsey?
Yes, part of this will be to repave part of Garnsey Street and connect that Moat Park up with this portion of Commercial Street, the path.
Okay, so it'll just take you into the park, and it would be like a turnaround there? Or
No,
does-
we'll also have a path paved up to Moat Park, to the parking lot, or up to Moat Park, so we can connect that as well.
Okay, but where does it go from there? I mean, once you're in the park, do you just turn around and come back out of the park again?
This will also take you, it ultimately leads down to the street department, so you can get on the path back there as well. But yeah, typically this leg will dead end at Moat Park, and then you turn around and come back on Garnsey, and then you follow the commercial path to the street department.
Okay. The part between Wayne and Downing, is, it looks like private property on either side. Is that also part of railroad?
Dan Hoying with LJB's here, so Dan, if you want to.
Good evening. The section between Wayne and Downing is actually under private ownership, but as Stacy said, private ownership that dates back a long time. The city has maintained Commercial Street from Wayne Street, all the way up to Wood Street, as if the city had the right-of-way and the right-of-way and the rights to be there all along. And what's come to light through this project is that that's not actually the case. The city doesn't have the easement for what is being used as Commercial Street. And so the additional work is really to just obtain that right so that it belongs then to the citizens of Piqua, so that the federal dollars can be used for these improvements. Did that answer your question, Commissioner?
I guess it did. I'm just, kind of surprised that the fact that we've been maintaining them as our own for all this time, I guess nobody just looked into it before.
But and that is the case, and it's unusual that it happened for such a long corridor. But with the railroad being there in the past, the canal being there in the past, both were public uses, and so the use turning it over to the city made sense from what people were using it for at the time. But the documentation just didn't follow its natural course of first getting it into the city's name, that the city would own it or have an easement on it, and then dedicating it to the public so that it can be used for the types of improvements that federal dollars through ODOT are required to be on.
It's not unusual. Many cities find themselves with these type of situations that they have to correct at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, it just seemed like a lot of money to be spent to do something that seems like we shouldn't have to do. But I guess if it's not a clean title, then we have to go for it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mark.
Now, on these lot lines that are moving back and forth that are people's property, is it going to line them up with what these people already think they own, or does it move their property line?
There's two property owners in particular that I'm aware of that the property line will move, and I believe they already think they own it. It's just the lines on the maps don't match it. So when it's realigned, they won't lose anything.
Okay, all right.
In other words, they'll own what they actually think they own. Is that?
Okay.
They'll own what they've already been maintaining, basically.
Okay.
Anything else, Commissioners? Anyone in the audience wish to speak to this resolution? If not, do I have a motion to accept?
I move we adopt resolution R-53-15.
Thank you.
Second.
Resolution number R-53-15 has a motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Mayor Fest.
Aye. Resolution number R-53-15 has been adopted. Resolution number R-54-15.
A resolution authorizing a 3-year lease with the Piqua Youth Football Association.
Ms. Wall will handle the next two items.
Thank you. The first resolution is for youth football. The second resolution is for the soccer association. Both of these are 3-year renewals for lease of the parkland. The city has had long-term agreements with both of these entities, and both of the leases had expired, and so they are asking for a 3-year renewal. I've spoken to both representatives from football and soccer. They had no changes to the agreements and have requested the renewals.
Thank you, Stacy. Commissioners, do you have any questions on resolution R-54 or R-55?
Have we cleared up past issues we've had with mowing requirements and all that?
Yes.
Where we-
I believe we have taken care of all that, yes.
Okay.
Most
so-
of the mowing issues dealt with soccer, with the Strawberry Festival tournament, and we dealt with that last year, if not the year before, and there have been no issues since.
Okay, so there's, okay.
It's incorporated as part of the lease as well.
Okay.
Anything else? Anyone in the audience?
Move to adopt resolution R54-15.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number R-54-15. Would the clerk call the roll?
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Mayor Fess.
Aye. Resolution R-54-15 has been adopted. Resolution number R-55-15, you've heard the explanation, and is there any additional questions on? If not, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll, please?
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
excuse me, Mayor Fess.
Aye. Resolution number R-55-15 has been adopted. Resolution number R-56-15.
A resolution authorizing a purchase order to Bobcat Company for the purchase of an excavator, attachments, and utility vehicle.
Mr. Brandenburg will provide the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Huff. Good evening, Commissioners and Mayor Fess. The resolution before you today is for the purchase of an excavator, related attachments to that excavator, and a utility vehicle. All these are, the excavator is for the replacement of our existing backhoe as discussed in the 2015 budget appropriations. And the utility vehicle is actually an additional utility vehicle. This vehicle will actually enable us to utilize it during winter months and increase our effectiveness out there doing the hydrant flushing, pumping programs, valve exercising programs, and GIS data collection. Both of these pieces of equipment, we've attained the pricing through the Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program, and they're both through the same vendor. We've had the opportunity to demonstrate multiple pieces of equipment and have determined this excavator to be the best piece of equipment to do what we need to do with the machine.
Thank you, Dave. Questions for Dave? Commissioners? Anyone in the audience wish to speak to this resolution?
I move to adopt resolution R-56-15.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adopt resolution number R-56-15. Would the clerk call the roll, please?
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Mayor Fess.
Aye. Resolution number R-56-15 has been adopted. Resolution number R-57-15.
A resolution to authorize the commencement of the appropriation of right-of-way on 1712 Park Avenue, Piqua, Miami County, Ohio, in the Common Pleas Court of Miami County, Ohio, for public purposes.
Commissioners, the law director has asked that these next three resolutions be tabled due to the fact that they have gotten signatures from the owners, and we really do not need to pass these resolutions.
I move that we table the next three resolutions permanently.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to table resolution number R-57-15, R-58-15, and R-59-15, to table them permanently. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Fess,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry.
Aye.
Resolutions R-57, 58, and 59 have been permanently tabled. That brings us to our monthly reports for January are in and have been accepted. And at this point, we'll open the floor for public comment. If there's anyone here who would like to speak to the commission, please come to the podium, state your name and address. If not, we'll move to the city manager's report.
Thank you very much. With the weather changing, we're looking forward to getting our street paving done. It is currently out for bid, and we're starting the paving much earlier this year because we don't have the conflict with Vectren doing their work in some of the streets that are scheduled. So look for that to begin. In addition, the Public Works Department is getting ready to begin a lot of paving and patching. So we're going to be busy. Obviously, some streets need it desperately, and we're going to be making that a top priority as we get the plants open and everything. We've been informed that our joint local government innovation grant application with it included Miami County Parks District, Covington, Bradford, and Johnston Farm, has been approved, which will allow us to extend the trail system east, west, and north out of Piqua. So that's good news and should go a long way in helping extend the trail system we have, and should bring a lot more people into Piqua. Along those same lines, just looking over the list of special events that will take place beginning today and through the end of the year, it's pretty extensive. You know, as you know, these events bring in a lot of visitors to Piqua over the next year, and we're looking forward to having a lot of visitors here to enjoy our businesses and spend money here and help with our economy. Just today, the St. Patrick's Day race started at 6:30. There were hundreds of runners participating. The downtown and stores, restaurants were full. Matter of fact, I couldn't get into a restaurant to eat tonight. So that's good news to have that much activity. So I'm looking forward to many events this year that are going to fill our stores and restaurants and our entire city with visitors and people enjoying the events and so forth going on. So that's really good, and we're off to a good start this year already. So that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Commissioner Martin.
I just came up with a question when you were talking about paving. I know Shawnee has a lot of work in DP&L and this year, next year, and the year after, but would it be possible to get the streets skim coated so that they're a lot smoother than what they are now, so that way we aren't redoing anything major to them except for making them better until DP&L gets done, or Vectron gets done?
Yeah, we'll continue to do patching and try to keep them in good shape. Actually, today we talked about, I think there's one street in particular, and I believe as soon as you come off the bridge, turning right down towards the pump station,
yep,
that is not part of Vectron, that I believe we're going to try to get done this year anyway.
Okay.
So, yes, the answer to that, yes, we're going to continue to work to make sure we realize that those streets, some of those streets need paving, but we really can't do that till Vectron finishes that work on those particular streets. So,
okay. And everybody enjoy Piqua this year. There's a lot of stuff going on. That's all I got.
Thank you, John. Commissioner Terry.
Well, I've had a complaint about rolling stops at the corner of College and High Street, and I don't know whether the city received that same complaint, but perhaps we can have some police presence there or something to help observe that corner, since it was so contentious anyway. And also with that same corner, I had 2 complaints in the same day about the 5 greenhouses that sit there. I don't know if we have to go through the health department or what, but there's trash on one house on the porch, and it looks like it's been assigned uninhabitable. I don't know. I know that's an out-of-town owner, but I think we need to make some move on that property. It was interesting to me that I had 2 separate complaints on the very same day about that corner.
I'll inform them in the morning to go take a look at that and to do whatever action we need to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Wilson.
I just want to congratulate Bill Collins for 25 years on the police force. It's a long time. And if you're a criminal, I'm sure that we'll have other guys looking for you. So, but again, thanks, Bill, for your service, and hopefully you'll have fun in your retirement.
Thank you, Joe. I would like, because it wasn't done before, to take a moment and read the resolution for William Collins and maybe present this to the Deputy Chief. But it reads, a resolution of appreciation for the public service of William J. Collins as a city employee. Whereas William J. Collins has retired as police lieutenant with the police department, and whereas his retirement follows 25 years of faithful and dedicated service to the city and its citizens, now therefore be it resolved by the Commission of the City of Piqua, Miami County, Ohio, all members elected thereto concurring that, Section 1, in recognition and appreciation of the public service of William J. Collins as police lieutenant with the Piqua Police Department, this commission tenders its unanimous and respectful tribute by this resolution, which shall be a matter of public and permanent record. Section 2, the resolution shall take effect and be enforced from after the earliest period allowed by law. It has my signature and the seal of the city of Piqua. And Marty, could I?
Maybe the chief and the deputy chief can come up and
Oh,
get that,
okay,
yeah.
yes, I forgot you were over there, Bruce. Excuse me, if both of you would come forward and see that Lieutenant Collins gets this, please. I didn't mean to leave you out, you know that. Thanks, Marty. Just a couple of other things. I talked to Chris Schmeesing the other day, and I understand that plans for Rock Piqua are moving forward, and we're excited. That concert series was so well accepted last year, and I think lots of people are looking forward to it this year again. I want to take a minute also to just, on behalf of the commission, to extend our deepest sympathies to our Assistant City Manager and Finance Director, and Cindy Holsapple and her family on the loss of her mother last weekend. We certainly are all saddened by that news and wish the family the best. With that, I would ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. It's moved and seconded. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.